Logan Franklin. I'm GAT. I chose GAT Sport because they're a highly established, reputable brand whose mission is to take the athlete to the highest level. This resonates with me because my ultimate dream is to become a Mr. Olympia champion one day. GAT Sport has devoted over 20 years of bringing the highest quality products to the market, focusing on performance and life extension. I am Logan Franklin, the Texas Oak, and I am GAT Sport.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ask the Texas Oak, brought to you by GAT Sports and starring Classic Physique Olympian Logan Franklin, all the way from Texas. Please welcome Logan Franklin. What's up, Logan?
What's up, Ron?
So we are recording this on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So that today marks 3 weeks until the Olympia. What did you have for Thanksgiving? Did you have like a dry ass chicken breast and a half a baked potato?
No, definitely not. I enjoyed Thanksgiving this year. Before the 2020 Olympia, the last Olympia that I competed in, I sat at the dinner table and watched my entire family eat Thanksgiving while I had my depressing diet meal, bodybuilding meal. And I regretted doing that. So this year, I just planned it to where, my cheat meal was going to fall pretty much on Thanksgiving, and just enjoyed it. Had a good day with my family, nice, relaxing, took a day off from the gym, did my cardio, posed really good, and enjoyed some really good home cooked food.
Right on. Yeah, man. I mean, you've been lean so long. I think this probably did you a world of good, honestly. I'm not your coach, but that would be my suspicion. So, man, this Olympia, I don't know if you've seen these numbers lately. It's probably even changed since, if you refresh the Olympia page, I bet there's like a new Classic Physique Pro every 5 minutes qualified for the Olympia. Just keep hitting F5, F5.
Another name adds to the list.
I think they're not done. Are there still more shows to qualify? I know the Open stopped in Romania.
Yeah, I have no idea when the cutoff date is this year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to matter at this point. There's going to be 100 guys up there, top 100 in the world at the Olympia.
Not 100.
It feels like a national show with that many people there. It doesn't.
Well, I want to think about this. 2016 was the first year for the Classic Physique Olympia. There were 17 men on stage that year. Dang. As of now, if they stopped qualifying people, and I don't know if they have or not, they might still be like this weekend. There's shows in Alicante, Spain. There's the Big Man Weekend. There's always like a Classic Physique show somewhere every damn weekend. 62 qualified plus the top 3 points. So right now you have 65. Jeez. Woo. So somebody's going to be like 8th call out,
Yeah, that's
not you, but geez.
that's a lot of players, but I mean, I never imagined stepping on the Mr. Olympia stage with 100 other guys in my division. I always thought that it should be, very few guys, like 20, 25 guys max. But I don't know. There's so many shows nowadays. It's crazy. But it just means you got to go there and really stand out. You got to have a true classic old school physique. You got to have everything covered, from your posing, your stage presentation, charisma, your tan, your conditioning, the symmetry, fullness, everything's got to be there. Yeah. So if you can check all the boxes, then the number of competitors shouldn't matter, and you'll have a much better chance at this Olympia.
Yeah, and you qualified was it October or November at the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic?
November. It was 3 or 4 weeks after the Olympia, so basically right away I qualified.
Yeah, I mean, geez. So, and I think that was when they started qualifying for 2023. So, man, I would not want to be a judge. Let's just put it that way. They've got their work cut out for them.
Maybe they'll add in some kind of elimination round or something like that. But honestly, I honestly wish they would just cap it. That they would just cap the amount of competitors, like 20 20 people can go through winning shows and then have top 3 to 5 with points or something. I don't know how that would work. They would probably need to, pull back on how many shows there are. But I think that would be a good thing. It would be a good thing because more shows would be more staffed, and maybe they could offer a little bit more prize money than $1,500, especially whenever it costs like, 10 to 15 grand total to prepare for a competition. It doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
That's why you got the Arnold Classic raising their prize money to $60,000 this year, plus a Best Poser award, which is outstanding. I'm not sure what the Mr. Olympia prize monies are. I've never been in the money at the Mr. Olympia, so I don't even know. But I know that Sean Ray, his show, they're really trying to make it a big show, and they're putting their money where their mouth is, with the money up for grabs. And that makes me want to compete when the promoters are like, hey, come to our show, we're putting up 10 grand for first place, or what they're doing, they're putting up, I think it was $25,000 or $35,000 for in the monies for the classic division. And that's a lot of prize money up for grabs, especially like I said, whenever you're looking at every other show making pennies.
True.
So,
and I think classic is the second most popular division. Open is still the most popular, but look at all the Olympia talk right now. A lot of it's about the open, but you're hearing a lot of Bumstead, Urs, Logan, Ramondino. The classic guys are getting a lot of buzz. So I would venture to say very comfortably, it's definitely the second most popular division by fan support and everything like that. So yeah, let's get some more money. Why not?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, getting back to your point about, I don't know how you can say this guy won a show, but he can't go to the Olympia. It gets kind of dicey there,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they would be able to adjust, direction of how many people are qualifying for the Mr. Olympia, but dang, I wish that somehow we could make it to where there's just a very few amount of guys there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The elite, the Olympia is supposed to be the elite for everything. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, even the Mr. Olympia is going to have about 30 guys in it. That's a record. They've never had that. They've never had that many. 27 was the previous record, 1991. So if anyone watching this has any ideas as to what we could do to cap the good ideas, put them in the comments, and I'll pass them on to Dan Solomon, Jim Mannion, all that when I see them. They'll listen. Why not? All right. So it's time for Ask the Texas Oak. So these are the questions. Number one, Logan, do you have complete rest days where you don't do anything, not even cardio? And does this change from off season to contest prep?
Right now, I don't have any rest days where I do diddly squat. Mm-hmm. Right now, my rest days, I'm still doing cardio, fasted cardio, and I'm still posing right after my cardio in the morning. No. And then I try to get another really hard posing session in later that day. Usually I try to wait till, 4 meals in, just so I have like a different feel of how much food and stuff is in my stomach, water, fluids, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So everything feels different whenever I'm trying to pull a vacuum, whenever you have a bunch of nutrients and stuff in your body. So, yeah, I try to have 2 hard posing sessions a day. I mean, I do that every day already right now, but on my rest day, literally the only thing I'm resting from is training.
Weights.
Okay. Yeah, I know that was a long way to answer your question.
No, but so in the off season, do you ever have days where you do nothing, not even cardio?
Oh, definitely. In the off season, I definitely allow myself to escape the dungeon. I mean, I've been a long time, almost 2 decades of my life has been devoted to, working out and chasing this journey. So it's a long time. And whenever you're dealing with a game of longevity and trying to stay in the game for a long time, like I've been competing now for almost a decade, which is crazy to me. I can't believe I've been out of the military now for almost a decade. Blows my mind. But like I said, that longevity, you gotta be able to take those days where you just completely reset and spend time with family. I mean, I know a lot of these guys are, they're still single and, no kids, no real responsibility. And they're just focused on, chasing their dream, which is great. But, guys like me that are family man, or even the moms out there that are competing, they're married and stuff. You gotta be able to take some time and spend time with your family. And if you don't, then your family's going to get burnt out, and then your home is going to get all hectic, and nobody's going to be happy. So you gotta take those days for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just from a standpoint of trying to stay married, you can't just have that tunnel vision and completely ignore your family, or else bad things happen. Next question. You train alone, so I was worrying about using heavy dumbbells for chest and shoulder presses. Do you do those? I asked because I train alone as well, and I feel I lose at least a couple reps just cleaning the dumbbells off the rack or the floor and getting them into position, whereas a training partner could hand them to you.
I've never had a training partner hand me dumbbells, even whenever I trained with a training partner. But it is so much nicer to have a training partner, especially on chest days, back days, leg days, arm days, shoulders, not so much. Who cares? You could do that by yourself all day. But, the workouts where you're hitting the bigger muscle groups, like I said, back, chest, legs, you need to have somebody there to really pull the very best out of you and go into that further limit of fatigue and getting that ultra squeeze. Training alone, it can hinder you in a sense of how much weight you're able to progress with, and the progressive overload aspect of bodybuilding, where you need to increase weight. You don't need to increase weight every time, but the intensity and the squeeze, everything needs to constantly be improving. And if you don't have a training partner, that's gonna lack. So. But the best thing that I can say is if you're training without, a training partner like I do this by myself, and it's very challenging, but it's also much more rewarding, I feel, whenever you can go in there and do the job and that you did everything you could and you squeeze the muscle correctly. It's about learning yourself, learning your body, and that's the true journey of this.
I want to go back because something you said about you've never had someone hand heavy dumbbells to you. And I wonder if it's the same reason. Back when I could use heavy dumbbells, every time someone handed me dumbbells, the balance, I could never get exact right balance the way I could if I cleaned them, if I got the grip and I took them off my thighs or the ground or whatever myself. Was that what you found? You couldn't balance them if somebody handed them to you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't do shoulder presses anyway. So the dumbbell shoulder press question is out of the answering part for me.
Okay, fair enough.
But the chest pressing with dumbbells or anything for that matter, I just feel better grabbing the weight, standing up with it, putting it on my thighs, and then once I get it to my thighs, okay, maybe if you exerted a little bit more energy than you would like, or if you're depleted getting ready for a show, take another 5 to 10 seconds to slow your heart rate down and work on your breathing. And you should be able to do this very easily, especially if you're in the gym and you're focused with your training session. You're not in your phone, you're not distracted, not holding crazy amounts of conversations with your training partner or whoever else might come up to you in the gym and bug you. But if you're locked in and you're focusing on training the muscle, and in between sets, you're focused on resetting your heart rate and trying to get that heart rate back down low and get your breathing under control, it should be quite simple to just pull the weight, put it on your lap, wait a second or two until you are ready to give it your all in that set, and then do the exercise.
Okay, we got a real controversial question coming up next. It's not that bad, don't worry. As a former men's physique pro, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I'll be the asshole to ask. Do calves even count in men's physique? I ask because I've seen several cases where the entire top 6 at a pro show had arms that had to be 18 to 19 inches with calves that were in the 14 to 16 inch range. I'm just estimating. And if calves don't count, why not just wear long pants? Why board shorts?
I don't know. I guess just because the board shorts cover up the upper thighs, the hamstrings, glutes, all that stuff. The men's physique guys, they're not posing their legs. For example, in the front relaxed pose for classic physique, you're basically hitting a men's physique pose, but you're showing your legs as well. And the men's physique guys, they'll in your front relaxed position, the front shot, they kind of have their legs all over the place. Some of the guys do. And if you were to have them just freeze what they're doing in their pose, swap out their shorts for some posing trunks, and then you've seen their legs aren't even activated. They're not holding their quads, nothing. So whenever you're competing in that type of I don't know even how to say it. Whenever you're competing and you're not having to show it, it makes people neglect it a little bit more. I do know, however, there are men's physique guys that are training their legs now, trying to make the switch.
Oh, yeah.
And that's great. But the calves definitely need to improve. My calves need to improve. I wish I could have improved them while I was at men's physique. And whether they count or not, I think it should be kind of irrelevant to the competitor, but rather just think about having a better shape, a more symmetrical, pleasing, aesthetic looking shape. You don't want to walk around looking completely imbalanced and just goofy. I guess.
I'm just wondering if subconsciously or not, the judges give these guys a pass because calves are considered by most people a very genetic muscle. Either you have them or you don't. And if you have real high insertions, there's not a damn thing you can do. You're never going to have big calves no matter what you do. So I feel like they give them a pass on that. But and I also want to say that
I don't know how much of that is true. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't know how much of the whole you can't get calves because your genetics is. I think that's just simply an excuse because, like I said, I haven't had the greatest calves, but I've been developing mine, and they're growing, and it's taking time, and it's definitely one of the slower muscle groups to grow, but it's all about understanding the anatomy of the body and the way the muscle works, which muscle you're targeting, and actually targeting it with intention to make that muscle be isolated and not using all of these other muscles to move the weight, but really focusing on just that muscle and squeezing it and squeezing the fuck out of it, and stretching it, squeezing it while it's stretching, and completely exhausting the muscle whenever with heavier load and constantly trying to, progress through the weight. You do this and the muscle's going to grow. The muscle's a muscle, whether your genetic shape of having a high insertion or a low insertion, I guess it could change the look of your calves genetically, like people's abs are genetically different and things of that nature. But maybe someone's, what's that?
I said, we've seen guys with short biceps, like Albert Beckles, Ronnie Coleman, build some huge peaked biceps that, there's still a big gap there, like there would be for high calves, but they developed the muscle to the fullest extent. It still looked very impressive in the end of the day.
Right. I think that with the calves, though, maybe, or just with anything, if you're looking at any muscle group, you got to understand what all is there and what makes the muscle look a certain way when it's posing. Okay, why does the calf look like a heart shape or how do I get it to pop out? How do I get it to thicken up over here? You got to understand which muscles you're working, and if you want your calves more thicker towards the ankle, then you gotta do things with your knee bent a little bit. You got to do. It's just exercise selection and prioritizing. If you have small calves and you want to get them to start responding and growing, I think the best thing to do is begin with the calf exercise. I mean, I work out chest day and I do calves for 30 minutes before I start chest.
Jeez.
Wow. And same thing on my leg days. I mean, if you want something to grow, you have to do things necessary to make them respond correctly. And like I said, it's sorry, that's my dog just sneezed if you heard.
I did hear that. Yeah. So yeah, but I want to yeah, what you said makes sense, because a lot of guys train calves at the very end of legs. They've already done squats, leg presses, hack squats, lunges, extensions, leg curls. They got nothing left for calves at that point. Good luck. No wonder your calves suck. I also want
and there's no they have no energy or no drive to do it. They're done with their workout. They finish legs. You feel dead. You're going, fuck, I don't want to do calves now.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
I do want to say, so the men's physique guys that don't want to kill me, a lot of these guys do have big quads now. I can tell because the shorts have gotten a lot tighter over the past few years. I've noticed.
Hopefully it's the quads getting bigger and them not just buying smaller shorts.
It might be a combination of both. Who knows? All right. Well, that was the calf controversy all done with. Well, you can probably hear I have a cold. So here's the question. We all get the common cold every once in a while. How do you decide whether to still go to the gym that day or not? Meaning, what physical markers do you feel mean training would be counterproductive?
Shoot, I mean,
you just go all the time.
I go all the time. I mean, if I know that I'm gonna potentially get somebody else sick, I'm not gonna go out and train, but if I know that it's just maybe I've got some congestion or a slight cough or something, it's not sick, but you have a slight cold, I guess. Increase your vitamin C, increase your water intake, vitamin D, vitamin K2, things like this. And yeah.
If you have COVID, guys, stay out of the gym. Be considerate of your fellow gym members.
Or just stop testing for it, and you won't even know if you have. I'm just kidding.
I just took another COVID test last night. Negative. Thank you.
Oh,
every time you get the sniffles now, better take a COVID test. All right. There's a training question. Why is it we are told we should do our curls very strictly, but most of the time when we see guys with enormous biceps training on YouTube, they're swinging and cheating mega heavy curls?
That's a hard one. I'd have to see the way someone's training, but this is the same with anything. I don't train ultra heavy. I train realistically heavy. I train heavy enough to stretch the muscle and give me the resistance when I'm squeezing the muscle. It has to be challenging enough to get, to the 8 to 10 rep range for me. And make it a hard 8 to 10 reps. Swinging, you don't want to use momentum, of course, but some of these guys just somehow, I'm like, wow, they have amazing arms, and I don't know how they're doing it. But maybe they were able to develop it, just genetically very fast. I don't know.
Yeah, I've often said, if someone's got awesome genetics, they don't need to be that precise with their training. As long as they're training hard with some kind of intensity, the form can be a little loose and they still end up looking better than almost every other human being on earth. So it's not fair. Last question for you, Logan. Is it okay to eat right before you go to sleep?
I mean, sometimes I go to sleep right after I finish eating, but I wouldn't say that you should be doing that all the time, especially if you're someone that has an issue with, say, like heartburn, indigestion, things like this, which I deal with. I deal with a lot of heartburn. I've been dealing with heartburn since I was a kid. I don't know why. I just deal with heartburn. So the best thing that I've tried to do is just let the food digest, 45 minutes to an hour, and then try to get some sleep from there. Just because I notice whenever you eat and you immediately go and lay down on your back, the food just kind of sits there, and then you sit in bed for half an hour to an hour, short breathing because you don't want your stomach to feel like it's expanding, and then you're uncomfortable. I know firsthand because I've done this, you know, so experience leads the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, just try to take some time. Sometimes if I want the food to digest a little bit faster and I have the ability to get out of the house, go for a quick walk around the neighborhood, you know, a 10-15 minute walk, and then go lay down, you know, get the blood moving, get your body kind of moving. Yeah, sure, that doesn't sound fun. It could be 10-11 o'clock at night and you're like, fuck, I got to go walk half a mile right now.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah, you know who I heard about that practice from Thor, Thor Bjornsson. He was the mountain on Game of Thrones, you know, that big 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
He always talked about that after he ate, he would take a little walk just to get things moving. Because like I said, the only time I've ever had like that acid reflux where I'll wake up like a half hour later feeling like I got bile or vomit right here. It's when I ate a big meal and then went right to bed. So,
yeah.
Okay. Good advice.
Yeah, if you go and lay down right after you eat, it's just gonna sit there and it's gonna take forever to move. So that's the best advice I could give.
All right. Well, this will probably be the last Ask the Texas Oak before the Olympia. So guys, leave some questions below. We'll get to them after the Olympia. Let this guy focus on his prep and try to win the Classic Physique Olympia title. It's going to be a battle this year. A battle. I love it. Yeah. Open 212 and Classic are going to be just insane, particularly Classic and Open.
I'm excited for the Olympia, for my division, of course, but you know, all the divisions are getting increasingly more exciting as the years, you know, as the years go on. Look at 212. You've got, is Derek Lunsford defending his title, or is he going to open?
No, he's open. He's open.
He's going to open.
Yeah.
Well, you have Sean Claridia, former 212 champion, going to win his title back. Then you have guys like Keon. You have guys like
Kamal. Kamal's a former champion.
Oh, is Kamal still competing? I wasn't even sure if he was still competing. Well, there you go. You have a lot of talent in the 212 division. 100%. Breon might be going there next year, or he might be staying in Classic. Who knows? Classic is ever evolving. Every single year, there's somebody new. The shapes are getting better because people are learning and understanding. Oh, what's old school? Oh, I got to have a complete physique, and then I can worry about size. Yes. Yeah. Open bodybuilding. Now you're starting to see these big guys have smaller waists. Like look at Andrew Jack, for example. Samson. Samson. Regan Grimes. You know, there's a lot of guys that are keeping their waist tight. Hunter Labrada is keeping his waist tight, training abs. You know, it's impressive. So whenever you have those big open bodybuilders, you know, keeping their waist in check, now it's like, okay, now the aesthetics seem to be returning to open. You know, let's hope it continues to go that direction. So
if you notice, maybe you didn't pay attention anyway, but a lot of the bitter old bastards like me, they've been pretty quiet over the past year or so. We used to be like, the 90s were the best and this and that. And this bodybuilding now sucks. You're not hearing much of that anymore at all. Because, you know, even guys my age were like, things are starting to look really good again, really good. Like maybe better than ever.
I think a lot of you veterans, you guys said what you needed to say as men, you know, as passionate bodybuilding enthusiasts, you know, wanting to see our sport, our lifestyle progress rather than retract. Yeah. And that, you know, that you need to say that. We all need to say that. We need this industry to go in a positive direction. So I'm glad that, you know, people were speaking up because it's gotten me more into bodybuilding. Like, oh shoot, you know, I want to be good like this too. But yeah, I think these bodybuilders that are competing nowadays, they're listening. Nobody wants to be told that they look a certain way that they don't believe they look, you know, and they want to look good and compete and win and all these things. And to do so, you know, nowadays there's a lot of competitors in bodybuilding. The sport is blowing up like crazy. So a lot of talent that's coming into the bodybuilding world.
100%. And I think Classic has had a real influence on open because I can't even remember the last time I saw a big bubble gut.
Yeah.
Why is that? I really think it's the Classic guys. People are, even the open guys are looking at them and going, I could be a bigger version of that, and that would look awesome.
Yeah, I think of that all the time. What would a classic shape, 10 pounds heavier than the classic cutoff, completely in shape like they would be at their classic cutoff, but you know, that 10 to 15 pound range, heavier. What would that look like next to these guys that are 300 pounds, but not as sharp, not near as complete? Because I hate to say it, there's a lot of lacking in some small muscle groups, you know. So a lot of just get big quick. People are going to be roasting me because I call it out, but it is what it is. You know, somebody's got to say it. But yeah,
fair enough. No one's going to roast you, Logan. Don't worry. They're going to. I'm the
Don't
one
worry
that's.
about it.
I'm going to hear from the men's physique guys about their calves. I'm going to get a bunch of, instead of dick pics, I'm going to get a bunch of calf pics in my inbox.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Arnold roasted our entire lineup on our calves. So
that's right. Dude, he's very blunt. That guy. He says whatever he wants because he's Arnold. What are you going to do? Cancel Arnold? I don't think so.
They tried.
They tried. All right, Logan, thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in the next. We got 21 days remaining to Olympia. So best of luck. Want to see you in that first call out. Want to see you doing very well this year, sir. So
thank you. I appreciate the time, man.
For the best. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Ask the Texas Oak with Logan Franklin. We'll see you next time. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.